everyone, welcome back. I'm Di and today I'm bringing you another Yarnie update. So if you didn't watch my June wrap up, I am filming in my coworker's office because it is very hot outside and air conditioning helps. So different location today, a little bit of a different backdrop, but yeah, I'm on my lunch break. And so I kind of need to get this done relatively quickly. So I have a few works in progress, a couple finished items, and that's about it. So let's just get into it. We'll start with works in progress. My first work in progress is in this lovely towel bag my mom made for me. It is Jack and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And this is the flax sweater. You probably know or have heard of this pattern. It's by Tin Can Knits and it is a free download on Ravelry. This is where I'm at with it so far. I've got the sleeves on some stitch holders and I'm about probably like a third down the sweater. So I'm really liking it. At first I wasn't sure about the stripes, but if you can see, there's the change in the color is very gradual. And there's like little flecks of different colors in the gray also. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm using Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Genie, which is acrylic. I got this yarn on clearance at Walmart for like $3 a ball, I think, and I had 3 balls of this yarn and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So when I started watching the Budget Knitter podcast, I'll link him down in the description box below. He is doing a knit along on this sweater and I've kind of always wanted to make one and I thought this is a great opportunity to just go ahead and do that. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's really soft. Will at the Budget Knitter actually made his in mandala yarn as well, which is what gave me the idea to make mine in the mandala. I'm not too picky about the types of fibers I work with, so having an acrylic sweater doesn't bother me. I have actually a couple acrylic sweaters that I've bought from like department stores and stuff, and they've lasted me a while. They wash well, and yeah, I'm super excited to get that done. And so yeah, if you want to join in on that knit along with the Budget Knitter, I think it's going on for another month and a half or so. But check out his playlist of tutorials on his channel and you can jump in on that. So yeah, that's my first work in progress. Then my second work in progress is in my Muppets bag from Utterly Adorable Knits. This I am doing for the Summer of Sorcery knit along, which is being hosted by the Bakery Bears. And this pattern is the Ollivander shawl from Kate Jones of the Bakery Bears. And I'm actually calling this one Born from the Ashes because I thought the colors reminded me a lot of Fawkes, the Phoenix from Harry Potter. So this is where I'm at right now. This is my very first shawl, and I believe the striping goes by the Fibonacci sequence. And so it's all garter stitch, very easy knitting. I am enjoying it. This one is in Knit Picks Stroll, hand dyed or hand painted in the colorway Sunset, and then Knit Picks Stroll Solid in black. And I am just carrying the yarn up the sides instead of cutting every time I have to do a color change. And this is the yarn all caked up. I'm not sure about the way this is coloring, because if you can see, if you can see down here, it's striped real nicely. But as my number of stitches increase, you can see the colors are starting to pool in this section, and I'm not too sure how I like that. But I don't think it bothers me like too much. We'll see how it goes as the stripes get bigger and bigger, or longer and longer. But so far I'm liking it. It's very soft. I'm using Knitter's Pride metal needles. This is from the Melodies of Life set, I think. And I really like these. They fit the Knit Picks cables as well, and so that's really helpful. So yeah, that's my second work in progress. I mentioned that I was doing it as part of the Summer of Sorcery knit along with the Bakery Bears, and that I believe is running through the end of August, and you just have to knit or crochet or something with something magical in mind. So if your colorway is magical, the colorway name is magical, the pattern has something to do with something magical, anything that's like magical can fit into that knit along. So I'm also gonna count that towards my Climb Every Mountain knit along, which is also with the Bakery Bears, and that's for their patrons only. And I'm trying to fill my rucksack for that challenge. So far I have made a sweater, which was my Mercury pullover, and a pair of socks, which was the All Is Calm socks. And so I still have a shawl, a pair of mittens, and a hat to make before my rucksack is filled. So I'm working on it. I think I should have everything done by the end of the year. I'm very happy with my progress on that. So my last work in progress that I have to share with you today is the Elizabeth coat, and this is just in a drawstring pouch my mom made for me with some leftover Hawaiian fabric that we had at home. If you didn't know, I did grow up in Hawaii, so we do have an abundance of Hawaiian fabric. But this is a sweater that I am making for my niece, and I should probably mention that you will not see any progress shots of this on any of my social media, because I am making it for my niece, and my sister-in-law is on all of my social media accounts. I kind of don't want her to know that I'm making this for my niece. So Yarnie updates are the only time that you're going to be able to see the progress on this particular piece. But this I am also making in acrylic because my niece is almost 4 now. She'll be 4 at the end of August. And it's just easy wash and wear. I decided on this blue color, which is Karen 1 pound. I think I have a progress keeper on here. When I showed you it last, it was rather tiny. Okay, so here, this is where my progress was when I talked to you about this last. This is Snow White. It's a charm that I got at Disneyland from Jared. Maruyama is the illustrator, or the animator. I don't know, I really like his stuff. Yeah, so Snow White. And I'm still working on the bottom part. I've done a couple of decreases. So this is a heavily cabled sweater. So it starts over here with this, I think they call it a 9-stitch cable, and then each panel of cables is separated by like a column of seed stitch, but at the end over here there's a panel of stockinette. So there's stockinette. Gotta make sure my stitches don't fall off the needle. And then there's this like braid seed stitch, and then the Valentine's cable, and more seed stitch, and then there's this tight twist, another tight twist, and another braid, and this swirl. I'm very technical with my cables, right? This is another Valentine's cable, a swirl, braid, tight twist, Valentine's cable, a braid. This is what they call the nautical cable, I think. And I'm not sure if I'm doing this one right, but I'm just gonna continue, because with cables it's hard to figure out like where you are. I hope I didn't make a mistake. I mean, it looks right, but I'm kind of worried about how this crosses here on the bottom, and it hasn't crossed here yet. So that's a little worrying, because I've already repeated the pattern once. I'm at the beginning, like maybe 7 or 8 rows into the next pattern repeat for this cable, and so I hope I did it right. And then there's another 9 stitch cable here. But this is very long. It's a very wide bottom, and so I'll hold it up like this. You can't really see like the whole thing, because I can't stretch it out enough so that it won't fall off my needles. But this pattern is not really a pattern. It's called the Elizabeth coat. It's by Tatiana Zygalkovich. I hope I pronounced that right. She is a Russian woman, and there's a user called So Virgo who took her pattern and transcribed it into English. And So Virgo's pattern actually gives you the option of either using the cables that are in the pattern, or you can trade out whatever cables you want based on the stitch counts. I decided to just go with the cables that she had already done. So I'm moving on this very, very slowly. You probably saw that I have all of these colored paper clips. Those kind of tell me where each cable starts and finishes, so that helps me a lot, and it's color coded, so I know like the pink paper clips mean that it's a Valentine's cable, and the yellow ones are these really tight braids and so forth. So I can only get about 2 rows of this done a day. The cables really hurt my hands, and I think it's because I'm a really tight knitter. So this is work back and forth. So I do 1 row going across with the cables, and then I do the back coming back, and then I have to stop, which is primarily why my other 2 works in progress are simple stitch patterns. So yeah, I'm slowly moving on this. I don't think I'm going to have it done in time for when I see my niece next. I'm hoping to see them in October or November, but at the rate that I'm going with this, I don't think that this will be done. I am decreasing about every 14 to 18 rows. There's two types of decreases. In here you do one decrease on the 14th row and one decrease on the 18th row. So I am decreasing stitches, and it is getting smaller and smaller, but there's still a lot of stitches. So yeah, pretty happy with my progress on this. And I'll just keep plugging away with it. And yeah, so that's it on that. Then that's all my works in progress right now. Then I have two finished objects to share with you. Sorry if I keep looking over there, that's where I have my show notes. So my first finished object is Big Bird. If you watched my previous Yarnie updates, you know that I've been working on the Sesame Street crochet along. This was in the CGL Crochet Graph lobby group, but something happened, and so they had to move it to the actual designers Facebook group. And so that is Lady Love Design Boutique. That's her group on Facebook. This is a crochet along that's only being hosted on Facebook, and if you're interested in joining in, the link is in the description box below. On this crochet along, you get the first block free, and then as you finish the blocks, you then get the next one and the next one and the next one. So this is my fourth block, and this is done all with acrylic in Tunisian crochet, and it's just a combination of Red Heart and Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, worsted weight acrylic yarn. So yeah, fourth block done. I did get the next block, but I haven't started on it yet because the yarn I want to use for that is connected to a previous project, and I just haven't had the want to try to get that yarn acquired. So when I do, the next block is Cookie Monster. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. So yeah, Sesame Street crochet along, my fourth block is done. I think there's 12 blocks in this crochet along, and then you have the Sesame Street sign banner for the top. So that's my first finished object. And then my last finished object is in a lovely Ziploc bag. But it is my Glitter Beach Bum Shorty Socks. This is actually the pattern the pattern I used was the Strawberry Sparkle Shorty Socks pattern by Madeline Mendoza. And so it looks like this. I don't have any sock blockers with me. It's one thing I forgot to pack to bring to the office. And let me see if I can get closer for you. Looks like that. This is House of A La Mode Glitter Beach Bum colorway. And then the dark gray is the Onion Nettle Sock yarn in black. And so I do have two. This is one and two. So this is the yarn that I bought earlier this year from the Yarn Crawl, I think. So this is the yarn my daughter picked out, and she wanted a pair of shorty socks. And so there is enough of the yarn for me to make my own pair. I haven't started on those yet, but she is very happy with these. They fit perfectly, and she's been dying to get her hands on these, but I just haven't. I told her she couldn't have it until I showed it to you on the Yarnie update. So that is my last finished object. These, as far as the construction goes, I'm pretty new to sock knitting, and I've only done one other type of like patterned sock before. I did mention, I think in my first Yarnie update, that I had done one plain vanilla sock years ago, and it was just so boring I never picked it up again. So my first actual finished pattern sock was the All Is Calm socks, which I think I had on my last Yarnie update. And those are by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. And her instructions are very clear. It was very easy for me to understand, like the construction of the heel and the gusset and all of that. But when I went to make these socks, there was like lines where it was like, well, start it in the middle of the heel. I was like, well, how do you get there? Like, I'm still like not comfortable in sock construction, so I ended up editing it a little bit to how I had done the All Is Calm socks for the heel and the gusset, and I think they came out okay. I mean, there's no hole where the heel connects. If I had to do anything different, I probably would have done a couple more rows of the black, you know, when you connect the ankle to the heel part, just so that this front part didn't look so choppy, I guess. My daughter doesn't care. She's like, I don't care, Mom, it's fine. But yeah, I'm still very happy with these. And I think on the pair that I am thinking about making for myself in this yarn, there is an afterthought heel, which is not a heel that I have tried yet. I've only done heel turns and gussets, or heel flap and gusset. See? Still very new to these terms. This bottom shaping was a little different from what I usually do, but that part was easy to understand. It was just connecting like this part to this part that was a little confusing for me, but I got through it. I'm very happy. Colorway is gorgeous. Isn't that so fun? And I really like this simple stitch pattern. So yeah, that is my last finished object. As far as acquisitions go, I did pick up 2 skeins of yarn, but I didn't bring them with me. And you know, I've kind of been thinking that maybe I'm going to not continue with the acquisition section of these Yarnie updates, just because I hate to show you something and not use it right away and then have you think, well, what is she going to do with that yarn? Now, I know a lot of us just, you know, we buy yarn because it's pretty. And truthfully, I have a collection. I don't need to be buying any more yarn. But I was inspired to do a project, and I was looking for yarn for it, and I found 2 skeins, and then I decided that I'm probably not going to get around to that project anytime soon. So it's actually just sitting in my collection right now. But when I use it, I will definitely be sharing those skeins with you. They're fingering weight, black, navy, royal, blue fingering weight yarns with Stellina. So I don't think I'm going to be doing acquisitions anymore, unless it's something like really, really special, or it's a gift from someone, then I'll share it with you. But if I pick up anything like in the future, I'll probably not share it with you until I actually use it. Now, and I do the same thing with my books, actually. I don't really do book hauls anymore. Every once in a while I'll do one, but I don't tend to read books I pick up right away. So yeah, it's just a thing. So I think that's all I've got for you this time around. I did want to mention that there is a crochet along that's going to be starting on the 6th of August. I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to get this video edited and uploaded for you, but it starts on the 6th of August in the Crochet Graph Lobby, CGL Crochet Graph Lobby Facebook group, and it is the Shire Adventure Crochet Along, and it is 12 panels of the characters from the Hobbit movies, and these patterns are being brought to us by Joanna from the Woolly Duck, and I will link all the details for the crochet along down in the description box below. Unfortunately, again, this crochet along is only being hosted on Facebook, but I believe Joanna is selling the patterns in her Etsy shop. So if you're going to do the crochet along, you get the first block free, and I've been told that the first block is Gandalf. And then as you finish your blocks, you post a picture, and then you get the next block. And I think this one's going to be a 6-month long crochet along. I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish all the blocks, so I may end up just buying the patterns anyway, because there is a block of Legolas and I really want that block. But where Gandalf is placed in the picture, I think Legolas is going to be towards the end, and I don't think I'm going to make it. So yeah, if you want to jump in on that, all the details are in the description box below. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. 4 colors, single crochet, graph gown style. So I think that is all I have to share with you today. Thank you for your patience in waiting for my Yarnie updates. It's rather difficult for me to film during the summertime, and so being able to borrow my coworker's office while she's not here has been a blessing. That and my boss is also not here today, so I was very easily able to bring all of my works in progress and things in while still trying to be inconspicuous about it, even though there are other employees that work in this area. So yeah, I'll probably have another book wrap up for you next. And so yeah, let me know if you are going to be jumping in on any of these crochet alongs or knit alongs. And like I said, I have links to everything down in the description box below. I should also mention that I am also now on Facebook. So if you'd like to follow me there, you can follow me at DISIS19, DISIS19. It's the same username I use for Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram, so that makes it rather easy. And I think if you look on the YouTube, like on my channel, there's like a little icon that'll take you to my Facebook page. It's not a Facebook group, it's just a page. So there's no group to join. If you're interested in checking out what I'm up to, you can follow me there. I do try to post different things on all of my different social medias so that it doesn't get repetitive for those of you who do follow me on multiple platforms. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in any of these projects, if you made any of these projects, or are jumping in on any of these crochet or knit alongs. Thank you for joining me again this time around. I hope you're all doing great, and until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.